Cut the cable and enjoy a wide variety of channels with our multi-channel antenna. In this tutorial, we will show you how to build your own active dipole antenna to receive digital frequencies in the UHF band, ranging from 470 MHz to 700 MHz. Materials needed: copper or aluminum rod or tube with a diameter of 10 mm 3/8 inch by 70 cm in length, 15 cm long coaxial cable, 2 F-type connectors for coaxial cable, plastic or insulating support base, 3 cm wide by 6 cm in length, mast or vertical tube for installing the antenna. Steps to build the antenna. Preparation of the active dipole. Use a tape measure and a marker to mark the measurements. Trace and cut 2 identical pieces of copper or aluminum tube at a length of 35 cm, both with a diameter of 10 mm. Use a tube cutting tool. Initial measurement. We will start by taking a tape measure and marking 117 mm, which is equivalent to 11.7 cm. This will be our first reference point. Reversal and second mark. Flip the tape and on the opposite side, mark 10.6 cm. This measurement will be crucial to ensure symmetry in our project. Use as a reference. We will use these values as a reference to trace our measurements on the copper or aluminum tubes. These marks will be essential guides for the precise bending of the antenna elements. Step-by-step guide for bending the tubes. Tool preparation. Locate the tool we made in a previous video. Make sure to have it ready for the bending process. Tool positioning. Place the tool so that the measurements align with the marks you previously traced on the tubes. Precise alignment is essential to achieve an optimal result. Location of the reference line. Before starting the bending, identify the line visible when looking at the tool head-on. This will serve as a guide during the process. Clamping and 90-degree turn. Hold the tool with both hands and make a 90-degree turn. This turn will result in the first bend of one of the tubes. Tube flipping. Optional. If you prefer, you can flip the tube and insert it that way. This step is optional and may affect the final orientation of the antenna. Second bend on the other line. Position the tool on the other line marked earlier on the tube. Repeat the clamping and 90-degree turn procedure to obtain the second bend. Repeat the process. Repeat the entire process with the other tube, ensuring that both elements are correctly aligned to guarantee symmetry. Conclusion of bending. With these bends, you have completed the construction of the antenna elements. Now, you can proceed to the next phase of the project with the tubes ready for the next stage. Brief guide for preparing the base. Base dimensions. Define the dimensions of the base with a width of 3 cm 3 cm base length. Calculate the total length of the base, which will be twice the established width, i.e. 6 cm 6 cm. Rectangle creation. Use these measurements to create a rectangle. Ensure that the ends are well marked. Identification of the support section. Mark and define the specific section of the rectangle that will serve as support for the antenna elements. Extraction of the section. Cut or remove the identified section section to create the part of the base that will hold the elements. By following these simple steps, you will have effectively prepared the base to support the elements of your multi-channel antenna. This process will allow you to progress to the next phases of your project with ease. Step-by-step guide for base preparation. Location of bases. Locate the bases where you plan to place the antenna elements. Initial considerations. Keep in mind that you should separate both elements at a distance of 10 mm 1 cm between dipole and 10 cm between dipole and dipole. Tube usage. Select a 3/8 or 10 mm tube and position it so that it aligns correctly at 10 mm with a tube in the center. Alignment of elements. Ensure that both elements are aligned correctly, maintaining the specified distance. Marking with the measuring tape. Use the measuring tape to mark a distance of 3.5 centimeters from the outer point of one of the elements. Also, mark 35 mm 3.5 centimeters at that point. Coaxial cable connection. This 3.5 centimeters marking is where the coaxial cable will be connected. Ensure that this point is known as the ideal one for the connection. Element placement on the base. Position yourself properly and arrange the base that will support the elements. Precisely mark and draw a line that is 10 mm apart, serving as a guide. Drilling holes in the base. At the marked points on the guideline, make holes to secure the antenna elements. Preparation for screws. Since screws will be used, create a small countersink on the back of the base. This will hide the screw head. By following these steps, you will have effectively prepared the base for the placement and fixation of the elements of your multi-channel antenna. Multi-channel antenna installation. Profile selection. Look for a 10 to 25 mm profile with a length of 15 cm to use as the base for the antenna. Materials needed. Acquire RG6 coaxial cable with approximately 15 cm in length and a UF connector for coaxial cable. Profile preparation. Drill a hole in the center of the profile to pass the coaxial cable. Ensure that the mesh does not connect to the profile chassis. Fixing the dipole. Take the dipole and secure it on the upper face of the profile. Drill a hole where you will use a wood screw to fasten the dipoles. Coaxial cable connection. Loosen the screws on the base and place the coaxial cable. The connection should be 3.5 centimeters from the larger dipole, the 75 ohm point, for the antenna to operate between 470 and 700 MHz. Avoid contact with opposite dipole. Isolate both terminals to prevent the cable mesh from coming into contact with the opposite dipole. Use hot silicone for this purpose. Avoid contact with opposite dipole. Isolate both terminals to prevent the cable mesh from coming into contact with the opposite dipole. Use hot silicone for this purpose. Antenna fixation. Use an articulated base to fix the antenna on the wall. This base allows for installation both indoors and outdoors, ensuring good signal reception. Additional option: if you wish, you can explore the possibility of creating an articulated base through a video tutorial. This will enable you to install the antenna both indoors and outdoors, saving costs and ensuring effective installation. With these steps, you will be ready to install your multi-channel antenna effectively, ensuring good TV signal reception.